more than friends, less than lovers, pals. Oh, yeah.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away.
Come on.
Know when to run, never count your money. While you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Pals, from the jump, we want you to go ahead and make a point to listen to.
It's called The
The
Gambler
Gambler
by Kenny Rogers. It is a moving piece of art.
We listened to it. We listened to it from start to finish last night for the first time. We'd both heard the chorus.
Yeah.
And when we tell you we were gasping, it is a story.
It is a story. It takes you through. You meet these people. You don't know much about them, but you know enough to care.
And then it takes crazy turns.
Crazy twists, crazy turns. Go listen to it. We're going to reference it a lot in this episode. So,
Might just be good to have that.
we've kind of hyper-fixated on that song at this current moment.
I mean, I got the lyrics right at my feet.
We did, yeah. Melissa printed them out. So we probably will be doing...
We did threaten to each other that we could... Not threaten to each other. It's more so we said it to each other excitedly and then realized it was kind of a threat to the pals of like, we will do a lyric breakdown of The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, some of our ideas were like, we would have fun. Would they have fun?
Some of them maybe would.
Some. But then other times we're like,
All right.
we'll save that for our own personal time.
But just to take you through the chorus, we'll just take them through the chorus because I think that it's going to really allow you to understand the title of today's episode.
Yeah. So it starts off by saying,
You gotta know when to hold them.
Now, if you're not familiar with poker, good. Neither are we.
We have absolutely no idea how to play poker. I was at a party one time. Somebody tried to explain it, and like it actually started upsetting me because I didn't understand. I couldn't get there.
My experience with it is, from a young age, I had access to, and this is not me bragging, but it is. I mean, this is very much a privileged thing, but this is, I feel like every family has a way that they choose to splurge their money. In specific ways. Some people do experiences. My family, it was like, my dad was getting the newest technology, and we were fiddling with it. So I had access to, like, iPhones and, like, touch stuff pretty young in terms of how young I could be to get them. And there was a Texas Hold'em app, and you could be these little, like, different, you could pick, like, your people, and it was photos of real people, and they had, like, little videos of them being like, oh, or, like, folding it in.
Did you already know how to play poker, or did you learn
No,
via
I
the
learned
game?
from the game. It was very good at teaching you. It was a really, like, introductory way.
We got to do that for chess.
Yeah.
We want to learn chess this year.
Yeah.
And
And I know us saying that in these outfits, it's like, well, yeah.
look at you.
Of course you want to learn chess. But I do think there's
Of
just
course a Queen's Gambit
something-
impacted you.
I think we also just like it because it's like a sport of the mind. But
Yeah.
also, I think it's like you get to hang.
You know what I like about chess? I love when I see people playing it, and it is like they're kind of just dropping into the room and moving it. Oh, I love that.
like a casual game going?
It's a background game constantly happening.
Okay, we're doing that this year. On the shelf, the way we could do that for so long.
The way we're going to have the cutest little chess set.
Papa's going to be like, what's... Actually, you know what we need to do first.
Okay.
We actually do need to pause for a minute.
Because
on the
as
Kenny
we
Rogers.
are filming this, last week's episode is coming out, right?
Came out today on YouTube.
Now, if you listen to last week's episode, we did talk a lot about Papa at one point, and we did get some...
And this is partially our fault, too, because we
did not
after we
clarify.
filmed last episode, we told her, because she was like, I'm a few episodes behind, which the fact that she watches it all is amazing, because she already lives these experiences, so she doesn't need to hear it again. Like, she was there. But she does anyway, because she's a papa. But we have told her, like, we have only increased in how much we talk about her. And so then I think that made her tune into this week's episode, in which...
We did talk. We have a fair amount of time where we're talking about Papa's Looney Tune-esque moments,
Charades.
Papa plots.
We
There
talked
was
about
one
a
thing in
story
particular.
about where she was
We can just read
running
the
and she
text.
slipped and she was running to get her boxers. Okay.
Yeah. And we said that she was wearing the same boxers that Troy Bolton was wearing. Now, that struck a chord with Papa, and we understand because we were not clear.
We weren't clear, but this is what we meant from the.
Yes.
We never meant to.
Because in my mind, they are for like in this context, obviously. But I guess like Papa is now concerned that the general that the general perception of her is that she wears boxers. She was very upset.
She wasn't happy.
She
that
didn't
we are
love
depicting
that
her in the light that like the underwear of her choosing is boxers, and we are here to say it is not.
No,
she wears.
She said
normal. What would be described in today's society as women's underwear?
Yes,
that's kind of the style generally that leans towards women. Mm-hmm. That is what she is wearing on the daily. The boxers.
Us being like, Bree's like, oh my gosh, stop talking about my underwear.
She's got this one pair, you guys. We're talking
bikini cut, but seamless.
Tasteful, but some fun colors.
Guys, that wasn't. That was not even a hit. That was just a random example.
I don't know if I've ever seen Bree's underwear.
Actually, I feel like we all do each other's laundry. I think Bree is doing has like a nice laundry bag that she does it in. I bet like she's got that
organized. She's organized. Okay. Anyway. To wrap this up about Bree's underwear,
these were sleep shorts. These
were
women,
sleep shorts.
I think that's a very common pajama short now.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's just cheap too. If you want to wear like shorts to bed as women, or even just comfy shorts. Also, I'll say boxers are comfy.
I do not think they were the same boxers Zac Efron had on. Like I would assume those were some
Bree's also are a little bit more like actual shorts over boxers.
I bet if we Googled it, somebody knows what pair of underwear that is. Someone has done it. If you know
the pair of underwear that Bree and Troy Bolton
Pals,
have.
circle up. We need to find out. We could Google it, yeah.
Go to heytherepals.com. Just drop an image and maybe a link to them. Nothing bad.
We're going to have them pulled up.
We're going to wear them next step.
So anyways, Papa does not wear boxers. They were sleep shorts.
So that's the end of the disclaimer.
Yeah, that was our Pals press conference.
When to hold them. Come on.
Know when to hold 'em.
Oh, yeah.
Know when to walk away. Come on. Know when to run. Never count your money. When you're sitting at the table,
there'll be
time enough for counting.
When
the dealing's done.
There is.
So we realized that we only walked you through the first lyric, then went off on that tangent.
So you got to know when to hold them.
You have to know when to hold them. You have to know when to look at what you got and be like, all right.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to hold this.
Because from our understanding of poker, again, we've told you
we actually don't know how to play poker.
I played an app when I was 8, and Millicent got overwhelmed at a party when someone tried to teach her. So that's our experience. But I do know that there is a dealer, and the dealer is kind of a Renaissance man, if you will, a man of few words, but much power.
Much power.
But not power of necessarily even their own choosing. They're almost
power of the cards.
An
instrument.
Thank you. Like what's the word for the middleman of like a god to
mediator?
Like
no.
Energy. Like it's an energy goes through it. Like if it starts with an I. In not
incubator. Instrument. It's not. It's like I know what you're saying. It's like it flows through.
If you know the word for like an instrument that energy flows through, like an into it, is that it?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, this is really good.
But you know what we're saying. Go to heytherepals.com.
I would say vessel.
A vessel's good. Yeah.
It's
vessel
not
works.
that. No,
it's
but
not
that's
what
not.
For, but it is.
It's gonna do it
just as good.
You know what? It's gonna work as the brick in that place of that building. It's gonna work just fine. We'll just put a little bit more cement on both sides. Brick wall will still work out.
Dealer's the vessel.
Yeah, the dealer's the vessel.
So the dealer is giving out. They're just kind of they're dealing. They're shuffling cards that they don't know what you have. They just shuffle the cards, and their fate knows what you have. So you're looking at your cards, and you got to know when to hold them. That means when the dealer at some point we're going around. I do know that's a part of it, and you got to choose.
You go in a circle. You take turns. Everybody has their turn. You got to wait.
Do you want to keep your cards, or do you want to put them down? So you got to look at the cards you got. Okay. So if you're listening and you want to see what we're doing right now, because it's a lot, go to Won't You Be My Pal on any of our socials. Go to Instagram.
Guys, seriously, we're getting stressed out about the TikTok thing. Okay, listen.
We're going to post this on TikTok, okay? This is actually right now we're going to do a bit of an ad for TikTok that we will cut to put on TikTok, okay?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, why
Doesn't
not?
that make sense? We're already here. Okay.
Hey,
Stop,
please, guys.
follow.
Actually, we're being so for real right now. If you've ever seen us on your TikTok feed and you've thought they were fun, and maybe you even followed us, that
to
rocks.
Instagram. Just come to the Instagram.
We're getting stressed out. We don't know what's going on.
Won't You Be My Pal? The same handle
on Instagram.
Won't You Be My Pal?
We're gonna figure
on Instagram.
Listen, we'll figure things out in the future about where we go from there. But all
We
we're
might go to a
saying is
different
right
platform.
now
Let's
we have
just start with
19,000
Instagram.
followers here.
Start with
and
Instagram.
800 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a little. We'd
You
hate
see
to.
the bit of the.
You see the problem,
that
the
we're a little
number difference.
unbalanced.
I
So
ain't great
get
with
over
numbers,
there.
but go
Get
ahead
over
and head
there.
on over there
At Won't You Be My Pal
on Instagram. Sorry, guys. If you're on
that
YouTube,
was okay.
thank you
I want
for
to say let's
first.
settle.
Yeah,
Let's
well, that was a
settle
lot.
on that energy.
We need to let you know that was always kind of the plan for that Instagram ad was to be upfront and yelling.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are feeling a little bit disjointed right now, or you're feeling a little, that was a lot, and we're
that
sorry.
was a lot, but also know that we were prepared for that. Sorry, you weren't, but we were.
I wasn't in the first moment, and then I locked in there.
okay.
Remembered. I didn't know what you meant by the Instagram ad, and then I was like, wait, oh right. And then I got there, and that's the story of how my brain got there.
That's how she knew when to hold him.
Yeah.
She said, "Hang on,
But what about
there's something there.
what else do you have to know?
You gotta
know
when to fold 'em." So another thing that you can do, again, limited knowledge, but I do know this.
Mhm.
When you're going round the circle,
Round robin.
you get the choice to hold your cards and be like, "I'm gonna wait another round and see how this
Hold
plays
these
out."
to my chest.
And you might have to put a little. You got to put some chips down. You got chips, okay?
Hold on.
You got. Hang on.
Whoa.
Okay. That reaction was real from me. Is now a good time to introduce this person?
Potentially. I think so because
think
I
so
would
because
love to have this
I
excuse.
think that she has something prepared for us. So we have in the new season acquired a bit of an unpaid intern.
Mm-hmm. She wrote in to
in.
us at heytherepals.com.
heytherepals.com.
And she said, hey guys, I've got some things.
Mm-hmm. And she's getting this course credit.
Is she paid?
No, but
she's
she
getting a
doesn't need
course
to.
credit.
She's getting a course credit.
Obviously.
That
and
pays
it's guys
for itself
it's
knowledge.
It's a light 70 hours a week.
Yeah. But we said, when she came to us, we were like, oh my gosh, we've never thought about having an intern. What will we even have an intern do? Because we do have a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Honestly, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Guys, we are very blessed to be able to live this lifestyle because it's a lot.
I don't think it's sustainable.
It's not sustainable. So we got this intern.
Yeah.
And it came down to being like, oh my gosh, what thing do we even let her do?
What do we have her do for
What's
us?
a priority?
Yeah.
So one thing that we've really been wanting is an in-house magician.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I
know
think
how
that
some live shows, so Jimmy Fallon has The Roots.
Yes.
People have kind of side, shows, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted a magician.
We wanted our own. And the thing is too, in terms of life, I don't think you want to be close friends with any close-up magicians in general. However,
So
somebody who is a hobbyist
and in a workplace setting,
I think it can be good. It can be good because guess what? I'm a little oh man, where's that flash drive? We've been looking for it. Oh my gosh, it's behind our ear.
And what
Instant tension breaker.
I feel like I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah.
If that's happening on the daily.
Now,
And,
does our intern know magic?
So we asked her that. We were like, of course, and what are your magic credits? And she was like, I've never done magic
Never
before.
done
And
that.
we said, not a problem. That's your first task. So she's going to be learning how to do magic. So I guess we should just introduce her. This is Lucy, and this is her first magic trick.
Thanks, Maddie and Millicent. Hey, pals. Join me as I set off to learn, nay, master, the art of close-up magic, a craft that people spend lifetimes dedicated to perfecting. But I don't have lifetimes. I have WikiHow and the sheer audacity to try. So where do we begin? Thanks for asking. We begin where all of the greatest magicians began, shuffling. Now, you'll notice I have a plain, ordinary deck of cards in my hand. No funny magic here. To begin shuffling, all you have to do is split the deck and just sort of grab the traction of the cards, and when you force them against each other, so actually this is good, and actually will help in fully incorporating the two sides of the decks into each other, because what people don't tell you is that magic, while it is about control, it's also chaos is a tool that can be used. So there you have it, a perfectly shuffled deck of cards.
Wow. Amazing, huh? And we cannot wait over the course of this season to check back in with Lucy here and there, our intern. And here's the thing, you might even get to learn magic with her. We will not have her break any magic rules, so she cannot reveal how she's doing the tricks. But you will get to learn with her in the sense of the vibe. Yeah. And I think that sooner or later, because she was hesitant at first, I think she was worried, and I'm just excited to frankly watch those walls break down for her.
Absolutely.
In terms of magic.
Absolutely. Because once we've given her magic, that's the best course credit there is.
You're welcome.
That's the best course credit there is.
Okay, dental. That would be nice. You just learned how to pull a nickel out of someone's ear.
I've been to the Houdini estate.
Crazy.
It's rocking.
Yeah.
That could be Lucy, you guys. Yeah. Let's just,
Let me just check our watches real quick.
Just check the time.
Guys, we cannot stress it enough. Living with a props master rocks. For our audio listeners, we have large watches on. I forgot about this.
You gotta know it. Hold, please hold. Please hold. Take yourself to I Want You to Be My Pal to see what Millicent is doing. She's puffing on something, and you're gonna want to see it.
Yeah. It tastes horrible.
Yeah, I don't think I want to try
This is
I'm scared.
Fake cigar. It does. I
Made
think
for
it's like
movies?
a flavorless. I
And
don't
it
know what
lights
flavor
up.
it's supposed to be, but it's
It lights up
awful.
on the end. I'm curious how that looks on camera. Does that look real?
Does this look like a
Because
cigar?
it doesn't really look. I don't want to do
That's
it.
so
I don't
fair.
want to
It tastes bad.
It.
It tastes bad. I'm
You
putting it
already
actually
saw us
back.
do the pipes.
I'm actually grateful it tastes bad, because otherwise I'd be like all day at my laptop working. I'd be puffing on this.
Honestly,
big cigar.
that would be so funny. We've fallen so much from. Okay, so speaking of, you gotta know when to hold them,
Yeah, obviously we've been
and you
over
gotta
this.
know
We've
when
done
to
this.
fold them. So here's the thing. So when you're holding them,
Mhm.
you have these chips, which is money.
Mhm.
So and even it doesn't even have to be financial money. It could be time. It could be wisdom.
Yeah.
You gotta.
It could
you
be
gotta
energy
give a
or
little.
focus.
So hold on to something. You gotta give up something.
Mhm.
You know, there is a
just
give
how
and
the
take. You only
table
got so
works.
much. That's how the table works. Okay, and it's not the dealer's fault. Again, he's a vessel.
He's just a vessel.
He's just a vessel.
He's
But you're a little
just
mad at him
conduit.
sometimes. That's it. Guys, I know we've said it 20 times this episode, but take yourself to YouTube. Won't you be my pal? To see the spirit of a dealer from Las Vegas that just leapt out of Millicent's body. It was similar to when I did the impression.
It's not similar to that.
We can't get into that. We have so much to get
No,
into today. Guys, again, the Lucille Bluth impression. We'll
Maddie
get
has
this.
done a Lucille Bluth impression one time. It was perfect. It
No,
was
no,
actually
not Lucille Bluth.
no. So sorry.
The other, the one.
Liza
that- the
Minnelli
one that
in
Liza
Arrested
Minnelli
Development
plays. Yes, okay,
saying
okay.
Buster. Maddie did a perfect
Okay.
impression one time, and we don't know if it's ever going to happen again. But I watched something come over her. Okay.
So when you fold them,
when you fold them,
you are choosing to say, "Hey, these cards that I'm holding are not worth the risk I'm taking for them.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not
not-
going to keep putting
yeah.
out. I don't need to be in this race anymore.
and I can only
there's a
hold so
piece to
much,
that.
and I gotta know which ones to put down,
Yeah.
and which ones don't belong in my.
I gotta
hand.
I gotta come to terms with
So
the
you gotta
fact.
know when to fold them.
So you're gonna keep your money on that one, but you're not gonna be gaining any money, but you're not gonna be losing any money. Okay. By the way, this song is called "The Gambler"
The Gambler
by Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. We are begging you to go.
It takes you on a journey, and
listen
I don't even want to
to
tell you
it.
the story right now. I'm sure we honestly might.
No,
get into
honestly,
later,
because
but,
we don't want to do a spoiler. I'm not joking. You have to listen to the song before you get to the end of this episode because we want to walk through the lyrics together.
Yeah.
Just a little, just
So
certain
we
parts of
can-
the story. And we don't want to give you any spoilers
Yeah.
because there's a twist.
That's the other thing I wanted to briefly say. So we played that song right before we came out here because we were just getting the spirit. But then Millicent's like phone just kept playing like related music. So next up was Jolene, and we were like, woo, 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 on fire. Jolene. We are not going to get into Dolly today because we will do a whole Dolly episode
when we have
get
a wig
money.
budgets.
When we get wig money,
we
get
will
to
do
wear
a
some
Dolly
wigs.
episode.
And then we do a Dolly episode. And then we break down and why Jolene is so groundbreaking.
It is an insane song to like
embody. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't. But after that came on some other like kind of just like Appalachian music.
Yeah.
Guys, there is something in me that when specifically that is the most tied I feel to like my home. Like going home, I don't feel as tied to like the town because just like the town has changed so much. Like even my tiny hometown is like all the like local spots are kind of gone now and like it's just very different. So I don't really feel attached to that. I feel attached to the people from there, but like not the place. But when I hear mountain music,
oh brother, like
that's my people calling. I want to be on a porch in the Smoky Mountains, looking out on a rainy evening, while my cousin's playing the banjo.
Oh yeah,
and Mama's got some soup on the stove.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't get a washboard in my hands, stacked.
Jug, I feel like you could play a jug.
I could. No, I could because I played flute. I can blow into any bottle and make it make a sound.
I tried a flute one time. I almost passed out in like 5th grade. I was blowing too hard.
We talked about when I tried the instruments, and I tried the tuba, and I was really good at the tuba. And the teacher said, "Looks like we got a tuba player on our hands," and I almost started crying
because that teacher also, Millicent. Can I say, being an adult now, I'm like, she knew what she was doing.
Well, also,
I think she wanted to humble you a little.
No, because there was nobody playing tuba. Nobody wanted to play tuba.
Oh, so
it was the massive one.
So she was trying to hype you up. Being like, wowie, tuba patrol. Tuba alert. Big old tuba over here.
I hear her say it to like 8 other kids down the line.
She's like, no one blows a horn like you. You're like, what? She said, that's me. You start playing the tuba because of that.
Yeah. Where were we?
I played the clarinet.
Yeah, which it makes so much sense.
Guys, it's just like, why?
Squidward.
No, but I'm not a Squidward.
No, you're not at all. At all. At all.
That's why I think, though, I was like, I thought the trumpet was cool, but my brother played that, and I was like, I can't do that.
Sorry, I got upset about Squidward for a second.
No.
I think we're too nice to Squidward sometimes. Can I be honest? I think there are times when we have not.
But you know what?
I get it. He like has his moments, all that. But when he was really mean to SpongeBob that time, and he put him in that can. When he put him in that can,
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
It was awful, Maddie. You would actually really hate that episode because they're like bullying him. Like it's really sad. They're bullying SpongeBob, and it's Squidward doing it, and he like really gets him upset. And I remember just being like, Squidward, you took it too far. This is not okay anymore. It's no longer funny. Nobody's laughing.
I will say, though, I feel like, and I could be totally wrong about this, I feel like one of the more recent times I watched SpongeBob, I was surprised because I was like, I think I thought of Squidward as meaner than he is, and I think that he had a very nice story about, like, being friends with SpongeBob. But I might be wrong about that. And maybe that was just a specific episode. But I do think a lot of the episodes really circle around
but
to
it's also
being,
because he doesn't have
kind
friends.
of a Sharpay manner. I feel like it's a little bit of, like, I feel like every episode ends with Squidward being like,
yes.
I kind of like
he's
SpongeBob.
Brought into it, and it's nice that he brings him into it. No, guys, we can talk about being friendly and loving one another all we want.
Him. You gotta know when to fold
but we do have to know when to fold them, and that's when to put it down.
And the fold them is where we're gonna take a break.
Bow's good. My bow good?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You gotta know
When to hold 'em.
know
When to fold 'em.
What next, though?
Oh, wait. Is there another option? Hang on. I was so thinking
I was so
that
caught
I
up.
had to be here at the game because you told me I had to be here at the game. But I forgot I can walk away. Wow. I don't even got to be playing at all.
If the game's not right for me, I don't got to be playing it.
I don't even got to be here. So I got to know when to walk away.
And sometimes...
But hold on. Sometimes things at the table get dicey. Okay?
Sometimes things at the table are just flat out not good for you.
So remember that dealer vessel we talked about?
The conduit?
Sometimes things aren't going your way and you start getting defensive and you start going, hey,
I
feel like something's up here.
You're working against me, aren't you?
And you know you got something under the table pointed right at your nugs.
You know there's a pistol at the hip of someone across from you.
You see a big man way across the casino.
Whispering to
guy.
another big man way across the casino.
Both bald.
Both looking at you.
And you know,
Uh-oh.
I think it might be time to
to
run.
and again, that's only for those very specific circumstances.
Yeah. You can go ahead and run if you gotta.
If you got it, so you could walk away. If things are fine, you know, it's a normal game, you can walk away. But if you find yourself
At a table of your enemies.
if you see a man way across the casino, big old scar across his face, and he's wearing one of them 70s suit, 3-piece suits.
He's got it covered up, but the foundation can't cover up fully the face tattoo peeking out
yeah.
from just above his brow bone.
And hold on, you've seen that symbol before.
What?
Venice, 2005. You're on a family vacation. You see a man.
You lock eyes.
You see something you weren't supposed to. Your life has been different ever
He
since.
shakes his head. You make a promise with your eyes. I won't say a word of this to anyone. He leaves because
you never
he
thought
trusts
you'd
you,
be tested.
but you know that you're really having to trust him, that he'll uphold his end of the deal.
So again, that's only for
It's
those
only
circumstances.
for those circumstances, guys.
So
that
that's
you're
when
gonna
you
learn from
run.
the table.
That's when you
Yeah.
run. But otherwise, you can just walk away. If
Yeah,
it's
you
not
can just kind of
working
walk
for
out,
you.
chill. You don't gotta run all the time. Sometimes you
But-
just kind of get up and everybody's kind of just like, all right, have a good night.
If you do choose to stay, never, guys. I feel embarrassed that I even have to say this, but sometimes we need to do some housekeeping.
Yeah. When you're
when you're sitting at the table,
when you're sitting at the table, I swear.
I better not catch you when we're circled up. I better not catch you counting your money.
When you're sitting at the table, you're gonna count your money.
No,
You're
no,
gonna
no, no.
bring
During
dollar
the game
signs to the table where we share food and community
Yeah, no.
and fun times.
No.
Absolutely not.
Don't be counting your money. And let's break that down a little.
Yeah, we
'Cause
can
to
talk about the
me,
example.
it's not just literal money. Hey, guys.
And it's not
guess
just the
what?
literal
It's not
table.
just literal money. It's not just
Guys,
literal
get
table.
this. This is all a metaphor. We're not talking poker here, folks.
As we were talking about this last night, I was like, I feel like they are going to be like, dear God, please stop trying to do metaphors. Between
Oh
the
my gosh.
unknown woods and here,
Season 2 is all metaphors, baby.
we're only going up from here. So it's there's more to it than just money.
Yeah.
So by table, we kind of mean
Just
kind of every experience.
Wherever
you
there's a
come to, that's your
gathering.
table.
Yeah, being intentional about when you're going to talk about business, where you're going to keep business, because you don't. There is like the idea of like the work-life balance.
Yeah.
but I think that it's less about. It is just all of that kind of the logistics and everything. Just be there with people, and I think like for parents, a lot of times, I
Yeah.
think that's so hard because oh my gosh, I can't imagine
But I
being
also
a parent.
think money like represents in this song. I feel like money represents like your own personal burden, because like money is something that we are kind of like constantly forced to think about in this like world that we live in. And so it's like, what is the thing that is your kind of energy and your thing that you're constantly having to check in on and like keep yourself afloat with? Because it's like, if you're bringing that energy
Separate it.
to something, like whatever the thing that you're going through is, and that's not to say that's not saying don't talk about what you're going through.
But be aware of the tables you're at.
But like,
Look around at the table and be like,
Yeah.
okay, this is not the table where, because there are times where it's like, oh my gosh, let's all like, can we all meet up for happy hour after work? And maybe it does end up being
Like, let's all just
we're
talk
all
about
gonna
what
actually
we're
talk
going
about
through.
what's going through with work.
Yeah.
But there are other times
But if
where
you're
it is
like with your boss, don't be talking about like personal problems. You know what I mean? Like there's
read the room a little.
read through. So never count your money while you're sitting at the table. Like
Yeah.
just kind of like be mindful of
We
this
even
is your end, because I think that you can max out a space for its purpose.
Yes.
And then you're kind of enjoying each stage more than if
Yeah.
you were just trying to like do the same thing always.
We were
Does that make
talking
sense?
about too, even like with to pull the curtain back a little bit. We love doing it. Talking about money, like because we live together and we do spend the majority of our time together
And
it
spend
is-
our money together.
Yes. I think that those conversations we were even like moving forward, like we want to figure out like a place in the house, like one spot where we discuss money, where it's like when we're sitting here, we're talking money, but otherwise this is our house. Like drawing those lines around it to allow those spaces to be.
I didn't know that. I like that.
Wait, I said it
idea.
to you yesterday and you were like, that's funny.
I don't remember that. To me?
I was across from you at the coffee corner.
I love that though.
Maybe I didn't say
About
it to you.
money? I don't remember us talking about money yesterday.
We weren't talking about money, but I said I feel like in the future when we do talk about money,
Oh! I do
we
remember
should
that.
do it. Like we should have like a spot.
You know,
somewhere where we do
I was
sit.
I was trying to get in from a different angle, but sometimes you gotta approach the memory from a different side, and you're like, there it is.
you gotta take it
Because
and
you
go.
gotta know when to hold them, and
You
know
gotta
when
know
to
when to
fold
fold 'em.
them.
You gotta
And
know when to walk away.
Know when to
Know
run.
when to
Remember, we discussed the
run.
situation where you run.
Yeah.
Never
Uh,
count your money while
when
you're sitting at the
table.
table. Why though?
Because there's
It's
gonna be time enough
for counting
when the dealing is
done.
done.
So you are gonna get periods of rest. If you are playing your cards right, you'll get time to count your money.
Mm-hmm.
When
And to
you-
count the card, like, you know, it's just kind of
Yeah,
like you
like-
can't do nothing till you got the cards in your hands.
Mhm.
So there's no use trying to be like, well, what do I do? You haven't seen the rest of your deck
Yeah.
yet.
I think this is good for
Hey.
like a good example of this is like I think for parents because I can't and we're speaking as two people who are
Don't
not
have
parents.
Don't have children.
Don't
And
feel
we just like want you guys
can
to
tell
know that
us-
we can't fathom it.
No.
Can't imagine.
but I
So.
just think it's a good example and I'm sorry. But it feels like you could have a dog even, but being like when you are spending time with your children, try and make that time with your children.
Yeah.
Like there will be time like and if you're doing it right, like if you're getting your kids in like if you're able to get them in like some sort of rec class or something like that, then it's like then maybe that gives you a little bit of time to focus on the money, the counting. And again, maybe not just literal money, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's something
Yeah.
else. There's time enough for counting
When the
when the dealing is done. Because guys, we need to tell you a story.
Now you may wonder what kind of tables we've sat down at.
Yeah, you might be like, why are we even talking about
How
this?
did we get here, guys?
Well, because we've been dealt some cards in this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, the LA fires are still happening. We are safe.
Mm-hmm.
We are
We are-
good. The city is coming together in amazing ways, truly.
That's been like, it feels just like it's because it's the devastation is actually just unimaginable. It does just there aren't really any ways to say things that feel right,
correct.
you know?
Yeah, like I don't want to be too celebratory
But
of
at-
any aspects,
But
but
at the same time, I think we can at least like recognize the beauty in like
I think that's
donation
also what
centers
gets
having
us
to be
through.
like, we're
Look-
out, please. Like we're actually like full of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to go somewhere. Like I think that amongst the devastation is like at least a
And that's
little,
what
a
I think
glimmer.
kind of trying to find the silver lining is what you have to do in these times because it's like, sure, it's really bad. And it's like, but finding that silver lining is like what's going to at least get you through to where you can able like sort stuff out and then you can kind of have proper time to like grieve.
And it's also like the community at least like can step up and provide
be
that
there
silver
for you
lining
so that
for the
you can
people
kind
that
of-
don't have time to look for
Yes.
it yet, who can't look at it,
It
yet.
is, yes.
That's fine, but the whole point is
The
like the
people who
community
can
getting
are
to be able,
supporting
yeah.
that, which has been very cool.
It's just been, yeah. We love LA.
So that's what's currently happening. So we've been good for a bit of time now. Like we haven't really had anything too scary in
Thankfully,
a little
the
while.
winds weren't. They had predicted that the winds were going to be bad again, but they weren't.
They
Thankfully,
weren't.
so
So like we've been fine.
we're up to 16% containment.
So it's going down, but it's like slow, and it's
Yeah.
again we're still kind of in the devastating like aftermath of it. So that's been happening. Okay, so that's a card that we've been dealt this week, right? There's nothing we can do to change that. There's things that we can do to help that by like doing donation stuff, all that kind of thing, volunteering. So that's a card we were dealt. another card we were dealt, because sometimes, you know,
Sometimes there's
oh,
stakes.
there's another option I forgot.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's something where you tap the table and they give you more cards.
Mhm.
So that's kind of being like, yeah, you're kind of searching maybe
didn't
for
know that
something
about
more. So we went
dice aren't
searching.
involved in poker.
I think
No,
some games. I'm talking Texas Hold'em specifically.
for
I
sure.
can't speak for any other poker.
for sure.
That's the only one I
But there are
played.
some tables that are higher stakes than others. So
So that's a higher stake one. This is a low stake.
we're going
one.
to
So
tell you
just
about a little low
know
stake
that.
daily one.
Mm-hmm. So we went searching. We went tapping to get some more cards. It's kind of we've been in the house for like a week because we couldn't really be outside because
And
of the fires.
We didn't want to like most people really have been wanting to like stay near their own homes, which makes
Because
complete
it's like
sense.
if
And so,
stuff starts going down,
yeah,
you
want
want
to be near your stuff.
grab your stuff.
So it has just kind of been like a strange week in general.
Our world has kind of been shrunk down in a weird way.
So we got ClassPass, as we discussed last week.
ClassPass again, not sponsored, but
Again, not sponsored, but if anybody knows anybody at ClassPass, sure would.
we absolutely would be delighted and tickled, and we would max it out. We would do stuff 3 times a day if we could, because guys, we didn't stop with the. Remember last week we talked about the bungee class and the yoga class. So
Lovely.
that was amazing, right?
Mhm.
And we thought,
It's Friday night, you know?
and but also I think we were like, what? We're not gonna get crazier than the bungee class
No.
in terms of like that was the peak experience we wanted to do. Now we're just
Especially
playing
on the
around.
trial that we're on.
Yeah.
Like, we're on, like, the free trial, so it's like,
We're just playing
you can
around.
do one bungee class.
Yeah. So we find one that we're like, let's just do something fun on a Friday night where we can at least be inside, but we
Ooh,
can like
dance. Let's do a
move.
dance
Let's
class.
do a little dance class. So there's a class at the Gold's Gym in Hollywood.
Titled Body Jam.
Okay.
All right. The description of it was like, listen to today's hottest music.
and like dance to the best beats.
Like for an upbeat, energetic, like basically like
Fun,
cardio.
sweat, like
cardio
evening.
class. It's
Yeah.
just movement.
And we were like, amazing. We're just gonna
Yeah.
get to go dance in a room with other people for an
Yay,
hour
this
because
is
it's hard to get
amazing.
other people to dance with us. So this is like forcing them to.
So we drive down to Hollywood. Why? We don't know.
Yeah, I would say about 10 minutes into the drive, we both were going,
Wow.
this is a bit of a hike away from our home.
Was this a good idea?
We shouldn't have done this.
I don't know. But I mean, it's
and
a
Bree was
$9
working. No one was
cancellation
home.
fee.
Yeah,
which
we're
is
like, we're not going to
crazy.
do that. It was only 2 credits to take, too.
Yeah.
So, and guys, in terms of ClassPass, 2 credits is, most are like 10. So it's very funny that it was 2.
On the bottom
And
of
so
it.
that's why we were like, why not? What do we
Right.
have to lose?
So
Okay?
guys, we pull up. We actually get
Sometimes
great
you
parking
aim
spot.
so low and you end up so high.
We ended up higher than we could have possibly imagined
I
in that
would
Gold's
say-
Gym.
Not to give you guys too much of a preview into the story, I would say I reached a type of euphoric high. Like, what is it? What's it called? The natural high?
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
make you
natural
do
high
in-
in dare
I-
class.
I
No,
feel
it
like
was
I had a
amazing.
natural high in that class that I have not experienced in a long time. The bungee came close.
Yeah.
Maybe the
I don't
bungee
know
is
that
for
I've
you.
been,
I wrote
like-
this down that I think the bungee was that for you, and I think this was this for
Yeah,
me.
because this took me out of my comfort zone a lot.
and I was.
Because what we walked into at Gold's Gym, first of all, we'll paint you a picture. We walk into Gold's Gym. If you've been to a Gold's Gym, you know these are like more so the people that they're there to work out.
They're working.
There's only
out.
one studio at this place. Like
And
there's
that's-
only one classroom studio.
It's mostly men,
Mhm.
and the one that they're mostly wearing gray and black. They match the equipment.
We're like benches,
What are they called?
weights.
Weights.
Us being in a gym together too, it really is just like these two people don't belong here.
Were you wearing a tie-dye shirt?
Yeah, of course. I was wearing bright purple leggings and a tie-dye shirt. Everyone around me is dressed in all black.
Yeah. Guys, it
we-
was a lot to process for us specifically. And even the women there, I'm like, you could kill me.
You could actually kill me. Some of you are 4'10" and you could kill me with one kick. This is
yeah, they're
insane.
the kind that strike.
There was a dude they had the punching bag way too close to the bathroom. You had to walk by him and I was like, oh my gosh. He's like really wailing on that thing.
Guys, having to go anywhere alone was terrifying.
I hated
not
it.
only
We'll
this
tell
is
you what the
no
classroom looked
hate
like.
to the pals, or no, not to the pals. No hate to Gold's Gym. We got there. I think that they just assume that people know what they're doing. We do not.
We do not.
We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know how to get in. We didn't know.
Oh
if we
yeah, you had a
signed
hard
it.
time getting through the
Like,
bar thing, and they were
yeah,
like,
I
"Brother,
thought she.
you know the thing that Donkey gets stuck in Shrek at the amusement park that counts people." We had to sign in with our like class pass thing. We had to like fill out a waiver. They're already emailing me. I did stop in all caps on my phone. I was like, do not.
Yeah, and Gold's Gym will lock on.
Oh,
Because
they
they're the
will.
ones that like, I don't mind saying this. They're the ones that you should know about Gold's Gym. They're the ones that like famously make it really hard to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're losing all sponsorship efforts to Gold Gym. Sorry.
Well, we're not necessarily going to give it.
We're not necessarily
bad
gonna give a
review. Let me be
glowing
clear.
review, but
Time of my life in this
We'll
dance
just
class.
say if you signed up to do this thing, you're not going to do that thing. So you might be upset about how you're spending your money that
Yeah.
way. For us, dream come true.
However, the setting, not so much a dream come true. More of an exposure therapy experience.
I'm trying to get him past the gate. She says go. Millicent goes. I thought, okay, because let me explain myself.
I go through, it rolls as normal.
It
I turn
rolls.
around, I grab his hat. I see my pal.
I thought it was one of the ones okay, because we were on a different path. Like, we didn't have a thing to scan in. So she had to do it for us. So I thought she was just unlocking it so that we could just
She
go
gave
through.
that impression.
Guys, they're using minimal words to tell us what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We signed up for this class. We don't know where this class is. We've never been to this gym before. It's 2 floors.
We're scared.
We're scared. Everyone there looks like
We're
they
the
could
only
kill
ones
me.
in there wearing masks. We're like, you guys are all chill with
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, that's when they were like, mask up.
Yeah. It was
I-
raining ash.
I run in to the thing, trying to follow my pal. I'm hot on her trails. Because I also was like, maybe I gotta go
No,
fast.
we also wanted to stick together.
I had a
We
bit of
did
speed.
not
I was
want to be a
scared.
part here. We
I
were.
want to be alone. So I run. Ooh, I get like clotheslined by it, and she goes, hold on. I was like, girl.
She goes further to the right.
Can you? Yeah, I was like, what? Okay. So that was already a nightmare. I was like, and then, you know what? I think that's what helped because I was like, what do I have to lose? I already
And also-
clotheslined myself in the front lobby. I don't care what these people think
Yeah.
about me.
We also had to go back and go, where is the class? And they were
Yeah, I
like,
don't
oh,
think it-
upstairs in the corner. We walk upstairs.
Okay, so you walk upstairs. If you're walking up the stairs, all to your right, the stairs are kind of coming up in the middle of the floor. It doesn't really make sense.
Straight ahead is like a fake grass patch. People are doing like,
The box jumps.
yeah.
To the right,
A whole line, the whole side of the room.
whole side. Ellipticals.
Treadmills, stair steppers,
Everything
all
that you stay stagnant on, looking one direction.
looking in one direction. And mind you guys, this is not even a gym that has like TVs up everywhere.
No.
They don't.
They're not doing it like
They're
that.
staring straight ahead.
So
and
what are they looking at?
What are they
staring
looking
straight
at?
ahead?
What are they looking at straight ahead?
Well, they would see the classroom straight ahead.
Right.
But but you're
Full-
seeing.
it's a
seeing it
full glass window
well,
on the wall. Like there's not even any type of wall or.
so you can just see fully in the
Oh,
classroom.
and then of course the one wall is also completely mirrors, so you can actually see fully.
You're looking into a classroom of
Everything is
people
going on?
who in that room have agreed to all do the same thing, but the people outside didn't agree to do that thing.
Yeah.
So now they're
They
getting to watch the
actually-
thing that I agreed to do in private with these select people.
Also, this is the minority of this gym population. mind
yeah,
you.
these people
This
aren't
is
there to
like-
do body jam.
Nobody is going to Gold's Gym at 7:00 on a Friday night to do body jam, but we are. And I'll tell you this: 9 other people are now our family.
We like embraced at the end.
Yeah, we are.
Guys, okay, so we get into this all glass classroom. The glass room.
Oh, yeah.
You had, and I think again, I already clotheslined myself in the
Oh,
front lobby.
also, we had to go back to get towels. We go back to get a towel. Maddie gets one that's a hand towel. I get one. It's a full-size body towel. I was like,
And I
I
took
don't
the
want
last
these
hand
people
towel.
thinking I'm going to be dripping in sweat in body jam. I will be. Oh, I'm gonna be. Yeah. I get red-faced.
I think it's good
so
that we have no
fast.
footage of this. Just so you know, we do not have any footage. Well,
But there are about 40 people in a Gold's Gym in
probably
Hollywood
do.
who have an incredible memory of watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so class is supposed to be starting, right? In walks him. He walks
Our
in
boy?
clapping. He's doing like
He's amped.
from the
He's
back.
wearing sweatpants. They're off immediately. He's wearing
Instantly, guys.
not short shorts, but fairly short, and he's
Yeah.
hiking them up.
Yeah. Tank top, like cut off tank top.
Hood.
It's got a hood on it. Yeah. And then so we're About
he
5
seconds into him being there, he yells,
he goes, "Excuse me.
"Excuse me,
Body jam
is
is
canceled.
not happening tonight."
This is not body jam. It's a dance class."
He said, "I only know how to teach dance. This is a dance class now." So,
And at that point, we were like, "Oh, okay. Well, we guessed it was already going to be pretty dancey, so that's kind of what we assumed." Now, I don't know if you guys have ever done a dance class in real life. If you've ever taken even as a kid, like a dance class, they kind of have a formula to how they go. So they usually start with a kind of a warm up that everyone does together. Then you do across the floors. Then you learn a routine. Guys, that's what he meant by when he said it's a dance class. We do all of those things.
And
the way...
Okay, well, we also need to explain his energy.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to start with his hips.
Yeah.
Guys?
Start with his hips.
So he's doing, again, take yourself to Won't You Be My Pal on YouTube or Instagram to
He's
see what I'm doing.
here.
He's low. I can't even spread my legs as wide as he was, but he like had his legs wide, okay?
And he goes, your hips are going to be open this whole class
again,
with me.
He hasn't even really said class is starting. He just kind of started playing music, and I would say probably like a random 25 seconds into the song, he decides to get up and start doing this. So then we're all like, oh, I guess we're doing this with you, okay?
Yeah.
So then he's up. Guys, nothing's moving but his hips. He's feeling the song. He's calibrating.
He's going.
Okay?
He's like holding himself, and we're watching. Okay. About this person, about this man. We'd say, we're going to paint you a quick little picture of him. I'd say 5'4".
Yep.
5'4".
I would say kind of
Toned but thin legs.
kind of Danny DeVito built, little taller, but not as
Less
big of a
gut,
belly.
not like a gut. Like
Kind
he
of
works
a fit
out.
Danny DeVito, but like stocky, not
Big-
quite as wide.
Bigger arms.
Bigger arms.
He did have big arms, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, and big
Yeah.
legs.
Well, no, he had big calves. And then his head is it's a little like I would say like square maybe.
Yeah.
Now-
but we could describe him all day, but what we really need to tell you about is the look in his eye.
You guys.
And I need
And
you to
what's
know, it was clear by the end of the first song,
He was on
he's on something.
multiples of whatever. We don't know
I
what
don't
it
know
was.
if
Can't
it was
even
a
begin to
pill.
understand.
I'm guessing it's almost a cocktail of things. If
I
I
would
had to
think-
guess.
I would assume that it is being ingested in multiple ways.
It feels like he took his evening pills, and then they called him in to cover this class, and he had already opened a bottle of wine.
Yeah. It feels like he's gonna wake up the next day and not know he taught a dance class.
No, absolutely not. He has no memory of that class.
No.
No memory of meeting
Guys,
us.
every moment was improvised on his
and also
part.
every moment changed my life. And for him, it was just
It was just
a night he won't even remember.
He said, I do 8 a.m. Sundays. I never miss a Sunday. You guys have
He
to
said,
be there.
if you're still up Saturday night, just come in.
I said, there's
I
no
feel
way
like
you're
that's what
sleeping on
doing.
Saturday night.
No.
There's no world where that man is going to bed on a Saturday night.
Also,
and
I
then
feel
waking
like
up for his
he's
shift.
sleeping
He's
with his
staying
eyes
up.
open.
Oh, yeah. No, those eyes don't close.
Guys, the eyes?
Filler,
Okay.
like we're talking, like filler that was like really up here and really puffed up and smooth. Like, okay, it's the Gold's Gym Hollywood.
Hollywood, imagine. But it's like, ugh.
He goes, guys, he finishes the warm up. Mind you, the warm up is him going left.
And then being like, right.
Right.
And then he'll
Faster.
go 8 steps to the right. 3, 2, go. And we
And
just
it's
start
just walking
to
with
the
purpose.
right.
He'll go and then
Left.
start walking.
Sorry that we're screaming into the mics, guys.
That's
I'm
how it
so
was.
Sorry, but it was like that. You got to be in the environment with us because we were thrown in. This was a good
Mind you,
minute 30 into this
The
class.
dance class that had come was there for Body Jam, but they stayed for the dance class. I think
Yeah,
that
let's give it-
let's give
describe
it up for
team.
the
Let's introduce the team.
let's give it up for the ladies of the class and our one king.
So it's mostly older women.
Mhm.
There's one girl that's kind of our age who's taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah, she's
She's
there
in
to
it.
learn a dance.
Yeah, she's in it.
There's
There's like two middle-aged women,
Mhm.
as in like probably like 30s, 40s. Amazing.
absolutely incredible. One woman with gorgeous white, like
Yes,
pure
and then there
white
was,
hair,
like,
and she
older
had a
woman.
shirt that said "Let's dance."
Let's dance, guys, and she made it happen.
Also,
We
from the
danced.
jump, he did say the theme of today's class. Well, no, he said today you're sexy, which I
And
think might have been really good for.
I
some
think
of
I
them.
think some of those people needed that, and we. Guys, a minute. So he finishes the first warm-up song.
Then we're
okay?
doing it across the
He
floors.
stops the song. He doesn't just keep it playing like we thought, like it would be like a body jam, where you just like music's playing.
Guys, you
keep
never
dancing.
know what his next move is
You
going to be.
never
At any
know.
minute,
and
he could tell you to
surprise
do
you, and he'll
something.
juke you out sometimes. He'll go, and then he'll do a different move. Terrifying. So he finishes his first song. He turns on. He looks at us. He goes, "I know what we're doing today." I said, "Now?
I know the theme
Where's
of
the
today's
class
class.
started?"
He
And
said
the theme.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. That's the theme of our dance class.
That's the scope of it. Now, you might think that means that the rest of the time we're going to play Paris Hilton songs. Yes, but it's primarily going to be one song. Well, first we do the warm-ups across the floor. That's when he first screams at us. That's when he
our
screams for
first
the first.
time.
That was our first
One
time being
of
screamed
many.
at. Yes. at one point he was having us walk across the floor, and the first couple times, again, sexy. He wanted us to all be sexy, so he was like, move
really
your hips,
stuck on the sexy.
move with it. At one point,
He had a vision, and he wanted us to execute it.
there was a man in our class with the most beautiful head of hair I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Beautiful
Curls,
silver heads of
like
hair in our
sun
class.
bleached
What a blessing.
streaks. And he looked at me at one point. He
Curly.
goes, "I see you," but I thought he said, because the music, Paris Hilton is very loud. I thought he said, "I've seen you," and I said, "What?" And he said, "I see you," and I said, "Oh, I see you too." And then I was like, "Wait, was he talking about my dancing or my hips?" Because there had been one time where I kind of was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put," because he would yell at you if you were not putting your hips into it enough.
He really wanted us to try again if we didn't do.
He led with
it
an
to
iron
the
fist.
attitude he wanted.
Yeah. So at one point, though, we were walking. He starts counting. By the way, guys, I would say he counted maybe twice the entire class. Now, again, if you haven't taken a dance class, counting is so
Crucial.
important.
Beats,
Because you have to know
steps.
the beats and the steps
He's
of a
not
song.
doing any of that. He's
At
just
no
going
point.
boom, boom, up, down. Like he wanted
Yeah.
us to really, the first across the floor, he wanted us to step, clap,
and then
throw
back.
our fist back, and then keep walking.
Yes.
The beats didn't really make sense. He wasn't explaining any of the transitions,
No.
which are often the crucial parts
And
to a dance
at one
move.
point, he's going, "Ready, and go, next group." And then he'd have you walk. But at
He's
one
not
point,
counting.
he had taught the dance move, and then he had started walking, and people had followed him to start doing it. And he goes, "No, back, 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 back."
He's screaming.
screaming.
Guys, now, in case you forgot, the whole Gold's Gym is watching. Every man that's on that treadmill, watching. Okay?
Not a lot of girlies in the Gold's Gym.
No. As we're getting screamed at on a Friday night.
To be sexier and to also go back. He goes, "Sorry, I screamed. I'm a bitch when I like my class." First of all,
Thank
flatter.
you.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Because at that point, I was like, here's the thing. We were looking at our deck of cards in that moment. Going into all of it, to bring poker into this, we were looking at the deck we had drawn. And was it the one that we had expected? No. The dealer dealt us a
But I
surprise
would say
wild
we
card.
also knew it was going to be a difficult table. We
Mhm.
already were going to Gold's Gym in Hollywood. I had already, again, got clotheslined in the lobby. So I was prepared for this to be a wild evening.
Yeah.
This blew it out of the water.
I had a big enough towel to wipe up a slip and slide of human perspiration.
Body Jam
Just
was
for me.
already going to be maxing it out for us.
Especially with the mirrors. This was already exposure therapy for me in the max. This was a lot. And then to have them behind, and then to have to be told, sexy, be sexy.
I think it was really
You
good.
guys, it took my show choir in high school. Yeah, I was in show choir. Okay, we both were, obviously.
Look at us.
When I was in show choir in high school, when we did our first body roll, just a simple body roll, the whole class had to end up stopping, circling around me to try and help me figure out how to roll my body.
And you know what's so beautiful? I was the kid who taught kids who couldn't body roll how to body roll.
We've said this before, though, but thank God we didn't know each other sooner.
Yeah, because we would have been moving a lot more efficiently.
And it would not have been good.
That's us ice skating in sync, if you couldn't
So
tell.
we looked at this deck of cards, and
We said,
we
well,
could
this is going to be a wild one.
And he even said, so leave if this isn't the class you want or whatever. So we could have folded them right there. The dealer even said, go ahead and fold if
Yeah.
you want to.
We get it. But we were like, hang on.
Whoa.
Other people would typically fold, which makes us think we should hold.
And also, I kind of want to see what this game ends up looking like.
What do I got to lose?
Because now the dealer is a madman.
Remember that gun? Oh, remember
At
the
this
run
table?
scenario?
At this
You're
table?
in it, baby.
At this table, baby, the dealer is a madman. The dealer has
The dealer's
things
on
coursing-
pills.
The dealer has things coursing through his veins that could
Kill a horse.
take out entire armies of, what are they called? The big ones from Ice Age. Mammoths.
And he's been dancing since Tuesday, okay?
Yeah.
He
has
told
not
us, he was
stopped
like,
moving.
this is my third class
Guys,
today.
he's like a shark. If he stops moving and dancing, he dies.
Guys, okay, so we've done the across the floors, right? That was
Mhm. He
traumatic enough.
screamed.
Again, we've done them for a while, longer
Okay.
than we should have. We're not even really doing anything. We're just pivoting.
At this point, we have about 30 minutes left of the class.
Okay, so then he starts just teaching choreography. We've
He-
not heard the song we're going to dance to.
Oh, and he also, by the way, doesn't know the lyrics, really. He
no,
goes,
wait. Sorry. He goes, you're probably going to want to take your shoes off for this.
Oh,
So he goes, grab water after the across the floors. He goes, grab water, everybody grab water. Everyone goes, grab water. Then he goes, you're probably going to want to take your shoes off for this. So he
sits
starts
down.
taking his shoes off. He takes his shoes off, strips them
Shoes
down to the
off.
bone.
Down
He's
to the sock.
We're seeing feet.
No, we're seeing bare flippers.
And
on this
so is
dancing floor.
everybody out in the Gold's Gym.
And we're kind of like, oh, but we finished drinking our water, and we're looking at him. I don't want to take off my
Let's
shoes
just
at this
keep
point.
our
I'm
shoes
gonna
on
see
for now.
what
We'll
this
see how
looks
it goes.
like.
Maybe I'll choose to take my shoes off.
Maybe, yeah.
Then he gets up. He starts marking a little bit of the choreography, and he goes, I think I'm gonna want my shoes on.
So then he sits back down and
He's got to put his socks back on.
and his shoes. By the way, his shoes, he just pulled them
Ties.
off, so he had to untie them. Then he's looking around at us because we're all done
We're
drinking
waiting,
our water.
and we
he goes,
kept our shoes on.
He goes, guys, drink some water. Like, take a break. And we were
We're
like, we did.
We did. So we all kind of pretend to go back to our
Yeah,
water.
I take another sip. Sure, I'll pat my face with my massive towel.
Then we're
Good.
waiting, and he was like, "Wow, you guys are like so fast."
We were like,
"No, it's been
we didn't have
5
to take-
minutes
put
to
on
watch you
and-
take your shoes off and put them back on."
Put them right back on. Then he starts, and he starts marking the choreography, and we're watching him, and we don't know if we're supposed to start kind of going with him.
We're gonna just throw you into how.
Mind
he
you, when he's marking it and he's clearly making it up on the spot. He's literally going.
Yeah, he goes, "Okay, so it's gonna go. We've got Britt."
She's the fun one.
Again, guys, he hasn't said we're starting the choreography.
No.
He hasn't played us the
He
song.
said, "Go, okay,
He said-
get ready."
He goes, "Okay,
Britt.
so we have Britt.
She's the fun one.
I've never heard these words in my life.
I don't know this song.
I
We haven't even found out
I
what
do
the
now.
title of the song
No
is.
idea.
We don't know. We
I'm
haven't
assuming
heard
it's Paris
it.
Hilton because he
It's
said
dead
it.
silent
Again,
in the
and
room.
I, at
All
this
of
point,
Gold's Gym watching.
wasn't even sure that this is what we were supposed to be doing.
No.
I didn't even know
And he
what
goes-
he was doing.
But
So
then,
so okay, guys, a theme of this is he would really focus on the parts that everyone generally understood.
like turning around.
He skipped over so quickly all the parts that it was like, well, hang on, what beats are this? Well, you're just kind of doing a move and not
Yeah.
telling us like what the counts are. So the Brit, step out. We all got that. That was pretty easy. Step out.
Okay.
And
you're
then
gonna
he
just
goes,
whip your leg out and down. Mind you, okay, hold on. If you remember Halloween, Kenny Ortega.
Yeah.
This is where
Recall.
Maddie's. This is
It's
Maddie's
a little
bungee
bit of
class.
like you gotta kind of
No,
so,
and
but
she
it was
whipped
crazy mixed with the hand flip.
The
So
fun
if you're
one.
listening,
Okay.
we're kind of Kenny Ortega flipping our leg out
And then he
in front of us to the left, and then throwing our right hand over our left,
And then back down.
and then back down.
And
'Cause
then
that's
he said, I can't remember the word. And we were like, play the song. Then he goes,
Play.
oh, right. Sorry, guys. One of our watches is beeping. It is. No, it's that one. It's this one. Guys, one of the many watches we have.
I don't think I did that. I can't take credit for that, but it did stop. We have multiple
Oh, yeah,
down
sorry,
here.
guys. There's a reveal. We have an entire box of watches underneath us. Again, living with a props master.
So if you were
Rocks.
listening and you couldn't hear that, there was a beeping sound. What is that mysterious ticking sound?
Yeah.
Little throwback for our millennials. So this man again has our hour. We are here for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He at this point has told us, Britt, she's the fun one. Okay, we kind of get it. But he also made us practice the step
then
out
he
about
does-
8 times. Britt, he really wanted us to throw
Yeah.
our fist down.
And then he really just glossed over this.
Yeah.
He goes, we can't even do it, really.
because we don't have
It
to
goes,
Chad,
Chad, he's the hung one.
So you're
and you
kind of
jump as you're doing it. And we go, what is this lyric, first of all? Second of all, what do you mean?
I've
we're
never seen a
grabbing
body
the
move
ground?
like that. Guys,
Again, no
for our audio
counts.
listeners, we're kind of squatting down in a horse-like position.
Yeah, you're
and
squatting
then we're
low.
dropping our hand, which I guess is supposed to assume the hung one.
Portion of the lyric.
That's supposed to represent that.
and then you
grab
grab,
it
and then you pull up and jump
up,
in.
But you're also kind
and
of
then
hopping in on weird beats and
you-
out. But guys, can I tell you, throughout the class, every move that he didn't explain to us, our group of people in this class, the 8, just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
We all kind of got in sync and
Yeah.
like kind of did it for ourselves. And
in
it
a
was beautiful.
in a way, he was like a free range choreographer. It was kind of
It
like
was
I'm
really-
gonna kind of just give you this
Yeah.
general idea, and then I'm gonna let you run with it.
And before he still hasn't played us the song at this point. So then he goes, okay, great. Then you're gonna turn around.
I don't even know
There's no beats to this, you guys. He just says turn around, and then he goes, what was her name?
the
Chad,
shy
he's the
one. Britt, she's the fun one.
one.
Chad, he's the hung one. Leia.
No, she's shy. Someone is the shy one.
And to be fair, he also was forgetting the words,
And
the
he kept
names
going,
as
I don't know
well.
if I'm getting the names right. And it was like, well, let's just play the song.
It's like let's just
And we
listen
can-
to the
there's an
song and we can all
easy
help
solution. He had not pulled the song up yet on his phone. So we have to pause to do that in a bit.
you. Then it's somebody. She's the,
the
shy one.
But
Guys,
we're supposed to
at this
put our
point,
hand up and kind of do a sexy
Also,
little thing.
he has us turn around, which means we are facing
We're making contact with our predator.
all of the people.
Predator.
All of the people in the Gold's Gym facing them, and he makes us put our arms up and he goes, she's the shy one. Get it?
one.
Because if she's shy, it's like we're having a little bit of fun there. Like she's clearly not. We're like,
And so remember how we kept saying he will make us repeat the stuff that's like, we all like kind of get it.
We
got
had to
how to do
do-
this, but we didn't know what the beats were on. He made us practice the sexy aspect of it without telling us the beats. He did not care about the beats. He wanted it sexier, which means not once, not twice, but at least
3 times.
maybe 8. He had us go, she's the shy one, sexier.
Sexier. Ready?
Sexier.
5, 6. She's the shy one.
Get it?
We-
Because she's not shy, she's a little promiscuous.
Then he proceeds to tell us the craziest dance, to choreograph the craziest 4 beats
Guys,
of a dance that I've.
This next part changed my life because there's as you've been hearing the story, it's probably been leveling up for you as it was for us, where we kept being like, whoa,
and it only kept.
he's getting amping up.
It's like when you're going up on a roller coaster and you're like, you
We're
forget.
clearly at the top, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still going.
Oh my gosh, I'm still going up.
This is at the still going up phase.
Every single move that we learned after the next was crazy.
We're still going up. He then told us that the next line was
Britt, she's the fun one.
one,
Chad, he's the
the
fun one.
the
She's the shy one.
Something.
The always high one. Okay.
So okay, right? So
He turns around. Maddie, do you want to do it? I'll hold your mic.
yes. Okay. So guys, he does this. So he goes turn around again. Not explaining the beats. Not explaining how we turn around. Is it a pivot? No explanation. The always turn around. Always. So for those listening, I
She
am
is
tapping
smack-
3 fingers to my vein. If you don't know what that means, then I'm not going to tell you. But you know what that means. And so that's what it's representing. Always. And then he goes, don't do it too hard because you might hurt yourself.
You
You're
might
not
get a
bruising
bruise.
myself. How? I would have to hit myself so hard with my 3 fingers. How strong do you think my fingers are?
He
So
goes,
he
"The always."
And then he goes, like a beer bottle.
Like you're holding your fingers
you're
like a
holding
beer
your fingers
bottle.
like a beer bottle. You kind of throw your head back like
With
you're
your leg
drinking a beer.
up.
Always. So he goes, the always
High one.
And then he turns around to us as if that was like of course.
Obvious, because obviously.
Because she's the always
We said
high
that has to be one of the most offensive choreographed moves.
And we're about to do it for all of Gold's Gym Hollywood.
I'm going to get canceled by a man on an elliptical.
And I think we just would have to say we were scared. We weren't actually, but that would be our defense.
So the dance keeps moving forward with very little lyrics. He finally turns on the song. It's faster than you could possibly imagine.
So I think it's called
I think we turn around to face the back 3 times.
Hot One. I think it's called Hot One.
Hot One by Paris Hilton.
Listen to it, and when the music starts, that's when we start dancing.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
got
2
Brit.
beats.
She's the fun one.
Because it
Starts
starts
with,
he's the fun
that's
one.
what
I like, and then we're in it. You got Brit.
She's
Guys, and so then we do it a few times again. We are having to multiple times face the people that are having
At
to
one
watch
point-
us get sexy screamed at us.
At one point, I did ask a question. I said, "Hey, I'm having a hard time getting to tapping my veins and up into the drink from being turned around fully. What are the
No.
beats on that?"
Listen,
He proceeded to
he
count.
didn't like that.
No,
The
he goes-
dealer didn't like
he
that
didn't like
question.
being questioned. He metaphorically slapped me across the face. He goes, "You made me count."
He did it quickly. He jumped right into it. He was like, okay, so it goes fine. And guys, let me tell you, he showed us maybe 3 times the counts of it, different every time.
Every single time. Every single time, the tapping the vein was on a different number.
Different time. But again, we all kind of figured it out together. We just did it enough
Yeah.
that we felt the rhythm of
Yes.
it. Oh, we all are like moved by the choreography by the end. We see the vision at the end. It seemed crazy along the way.
At this point, too, he is. We are actively participating in this dance class, as in.
I am smiling so big.
Maddie?
And guys, so remember how last week I told you how excited Millicent was on the bungee? This was my bungee class.
I loved it because I was behind her and I could see in the mirror her face as she was dancing, and I'm desperately trying to keep up in dancing as well. She's a great person to have in front of you in dance class.
Thank you.
But it was beautiful to see her in this.
But I will say, in the beginning, I was a little nervous because, again, it was hard to pin down his energy. If the anger was like kind of the happy because I love
That's
you
not the
anger,
kind of
or
energy
was
you
kinda
pin
like,
down.
So I was scared that I was going to be like laughing because I am genuinely having a good time, but also
Yeah.
because it is crazy.
And he had the type of, again, things in his veins that would make him
I was
potentially.
so scared he was going to go, hey! And I
Stop
was about to
laughing!
be like, oh my God, I'm about to get choked against this glass wall in front of Gold's Gym. Like, guys, he could do that.
So
We
then,
didn't know.
guys, then we get a water break, okay? And he says to us, okay, time for the floor portion.
he had briefly mentioned it earlier, but I thought that was like he was choosing between floor work or this.
And then
I
he
didn't realize
chosen.
we were getting and again, we've been learning this for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah. There's only 20 minutes of class. No, not even 20 minutes of
Less
class
than
left.
that,
There's like
probably.
10 minutes of class left. And he's
we're
like,
getting to the floor work.
guys, we all, at this point, I do take off my shoes. Because he takes off his shoes. But he wasn't barefoot this time. He kept his socks on,
He had
thank
his socks
God.
on.
But also, like, why did he go barefoot in the beginning?
And we had to see it.
You guys, what
He's-
proceeds to happen on that floor?
It's only between us
And
and the people of Gold's Gym Hollywood. Because we were if you have kids, it's not too bad, but just know there was some grinding.
There
There
was
was
some
some
gyrating. At one
thrusting.
point, he looked at us as his hips. Okay, I'm going to just paint you one picture. He looked at us as his arms were out straight at his sides, like a T.
Just kind of improvise.
his
We're
shoulder
on
blades-
our backs, by the way, at this
Shoulder
point. That's where
blades
the
are on
choreography's
the
gotten to.
ground. He's been kicked. Well, first he had us drop down. He tried to teach us how to drop down. He goes, "You're gonna slide. You just slide from a step into being on the ground." He goes, "Do not catch yourself too hard on your wrist." I said, "What? You're teaching? What are you
And we're
talking
going
about?"
so fast. Like,
So
then
fast.
obviously like the slide.
And
you
then
can
when
do
we
it
get down to the floor, guys, you get
You
down to
kinda
the floor.
improvise.
You're laying down. Well, first
flat
he
in a
has you.
T-shape.
First he goes, "You're gonna go," and he
Oh.
thinks for a second. He thinks for a second, guys. He fully
He's
is
cooking.
processing for a second. He goes, "You're gonna go."
Here,
Boom.
he throws his legs out, throws
spreads
legs,
his legs.
and he goes up. I should be wearing heels. No one really reacts. He stands up, he starts walking around, and he's like, "Do it again." They do it again, and then he goes, "I should be wearing heels." And a different lady hears him, and she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah. No, Maddie also did give him a laugh at that too.
I did. Guys, I was there to participate."
Because also he was the kind of energy as well that
when to hold 'em,
them.
know when to fold 'em. And there came a time where he did bring up people that would fold 'em. Because at one point,
Yes.
he makes us split into groups and we do it for each other.
Yeah.
A
He goes,
couple times.
Split into two groups. Okay, group one.
So
Group
that's only
one.
4 of us.
Yeah. 4 of us standing there, and it's us and the girl that's closer to our age. She is, again, laser focused. Again,
She's in it.
she
She's
didn't say
clearly
a
a
word to
dancer.
us the whole
No.
time, and that's so fine. Literally, like,
was
whatever
in it.
body
You came
jam
to
was
Gold's
meant to
Gym to
be for
just-
you,
yeah.
that's great.
We were at peace with that.
She was killing it, and we were not. So then we also had 2 older women in our group that we were instantly like, "We got this."
Yeah.
I tried to initiate a huddle up at one point. Maddie then backed me up, but then they didn't really hear it, and she didn't really want to join in again. She was very focused.
So sometimes you swing and you miss. Sometimes you try and start a circle up, and it's not always going to land. You guys haven't hear that we're trying to circle up in real life. We're trying.
Us just getting rejected.
And we're not always
and that's
feeling
part of
okay.
it, guys.
But I would say we emotionally circled up with that group because we
Also,
were in
yeah, no,
sync.
the women we really okay. Well, also with the floor work, to go back to the floor work real quick,
Please.
hips are up in the air. His arms are splayed out after he has spread his legs and slapped his knees, like slapped his knees as he spreads his legs. We are again on the floor, like at this point we're facing the other wall. We're facing the one wall that isn't a mirror, and to our left is all of Gold's Gym,
All of Gold's Gym.
just all of
And
them.
you can't be thinking
Then
about
he
them.
goes, there's a line where it says, "Me, I'm the hot one." Okay, he goes, he puts his arms out, hips in the air, like his hips are up, his legs are like feet on the ground. I hope I'm painting a good picture of this. He looks
Spread.
back at us and he goes, "I saw this on,
He goes,
anybody
seen the substance?
Anybody
I got
seen the
this from
substance?
that. And then he goes, "Me,
Me,
I'm the hot one."
And
guys,
he
like,
gyrates
in
to-
a crazy manner. You could never predict when he was going to be doing it. And then the next move, we were supposed to turn over and like fan kick our legs in the air. Everybody was in sync.
Guys, when it got to the part where it goes, you're on your side, fan kick to the side, and then leg down, and then we do the little hands underneath our chin, and then we're kicking behind us. No matter how
And
disjointed
no matter what
the
happened
dance
in
was,
the rest of the dance,
when we did that kick,
because when we kicked, we were all
when I looked in the mirror, because that was the only part where I knew where I was doing, when you're kicking your legs, and I'd look in the mirror, and all of the class is doing
beautiful.
it. It was really amazing.
It was.
And that's the spirit of
beautiful.
dance.
It really was, and it took a crazy man to pull it out of us.
Oh, and then we had to stand up, obviously, by like just getting up somehow, but then slapping our legs and coming up.
And again, not quite explained how to get
Yes.
up. He just kind of did it, and we were
Oh.
like, okay. And it was towards the end of the class. No one was really asking questions at this
But
point.
when he had split us into the 2 groups to perform for each other, he was like, "I've had people leave, but I had 3 people leave my class when I did this last time." I don't know that it was exactly because of that.
I
I think
think
it
that
might
was
have been
like
what was
a-
leading up to it.
a final straw situation, if you will.
Yeah. Here's the camel's back, broken.
We actually said both of those.
Actually, so sad to think about. I don't want to think about a camel's back broken.
And it was a really sad day when we came up with that.
It was really messed up, guys.
When the straw broke our camel's back.
He's okay. He's rebuilt.
He is.
Because, like, do the hump... I don't... like. I'm sorry, guys. So, anyways, we are getting to...
You gotta know when to hold 'em. And, guys, we had a choice.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to hold them. And, boy, was it
Because
worth
then
it.
we had the opportunity to try and play our cards. And we did, and it was not at all what we expected, and actually the highlight of
the week, honestly. We really needed it.
It was such a bright light. Afterwards, we chatted with the other people in the class. We went out to the car. I realized I'd left my water bottle. I had to go back in alone. I was very scared.
That was really sad.
But yeah, no, it was a great time. But it was all because we held...
Should I have gone in the gym with you?
You're so fine.
I just wanted to make sure. It just felt more efficient to let you go.
Because
like,
I'm
wanted
going
it
to
to be
zoom
as
up
fast
there.
as possible.
I
Yeah.
got stuck behind a slow walker going up the stairs.
See, my brother's going to be walking fast.
Yeah, I'm going to be flying.
She's flying.
But then later, I think like it was literally last night. We had another table that we approached.
Yeah.
And it was a different kind of table.
No,
but
2 nights ago.
So sorry.
No,
Wait.
hey. Are you talking about Bimbos?
Yes. Wow.
It was 2 nights ago.
Oh my gosh. Time is
Spoiler.
crazy.
Guys, so we remember the fire thing. So besides the Gold's gym class, we had other things we were dealing with, which was the fire. And we have a lot of friends that are LA locals, and that's been so hard because they all know people, or their schools have burnt down, or like that's been
Or
really
particularly Altadena. And
Yeah.
Just because those are all just residential areas and like
Yeah.
families that have been there forever. So
and they can't really necessarily, like, the prices have gone up so much there. It's just like a crazy time. And so we
Yeah.
wanted to be able to like have our regular hangout of people, because I think that routine is really helpful to kind of get people's minds back into stuff, like back into just the like everything
Yeah.
doesn't feel so heavy.
and it was typically we do them on like a different weeknight, and so this time we were just kind of like let's just do it tomorrow night, because that's kind of just feels like
Yeah.
looking at the table it looks like we should gather it.
And it really felt like we had already been inviting so many other people over individually. We were like, we may as well just have everybody come over. I had seen a TikTok about how, so another card we've been dealt. Obviously, there was a lot of smoke in the air, so people were saying like to wear masks to go outside. But now it's kind of cleared up, but people are also still being like, you should still mask up because there's like old homes have been burning, and so they're like all of that like asbestos and stuff like that is kind of in the air, and those chemicals, like we don't know what that's gonna do. So it's like mask up if you can outside is what we have been told. So we kind of were like, let's do something to like cleanse out our systems. So I'd seen like a eucalyptus thing, like a eucalyptus steam, and then you had seen the like
We got mullein root,
And
like
then
ground up mullein,
guys just putting it in a pot of water and letting it boil, and then just
opening it up and like breathing it
the
in.
steam. It just opens all your airways. It feels incredible.
It's like with menthol, like when you put it on and you can like feel it going down your chest. It really feels like that. And it was lovely, and we did that, and we also just like
we made tea.
We had those little feeling cards we were looking at, and we just honestly like it was interesting because it's all about also seeing the different energy that people are bringing around you, like being present enough to look around at the other people you're playing with and being like, okay, how do I need to carry myself to be best supporting role in this again? Because we were not directly affected.
No.
But we have people in our life who were, and who have people who were.
And also, I think we felt very supported just in general from like people here and people not here. But I think like it's nice to be able to give that back to the people here that we know that really need it.
Yeah. And so it was just kind of like about like reading the room in that sense of like, hey, some people are going to want to talk about it, some people are not, and it's just making the space for that. And like even realizing at one point we had been out back, we were like getting something, and we had been out back, and we came inside, and we were pretty high energy with
Oh,
one
I
of
think
our
we had
other
let
friends.
Danny out.
Yeah, we had taken our we had taken our friend out of like we had taken her down the block, and sounds like no,
We took it down the block. She was
our
running
friend was
around.
leaving, so we walked her out.
Yeah.
When we came back in, we were pretty high energy, and there was a very like we kind of walked in.
Oh
and then
yeah,
I had to
we
quickly,
hadn't seen Jillian in a minute.
Yeah.
And when we don't see Jillian for a while, the energy, pew, 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 pew. So we were coming inside.
Yes. And then I kind of like went into the living room to get something. I came back and I was like, hey, I think there's actually like a moment happening in the living room. We need to kind of.
Some people were like just like
We
having
need
an
to-
earnest
yeah,
conversation.
we need
were
to,
like,
like-
hey, let's not interrupt that. And again, we were doing fine. We still had a great time in the
Yes.
kitchen hanging out.
But it is just about like part of making space is also like knowing when to maybe move where you are taking space to somewhere else, or just stop taking it.
Yeah.
Like just
Give it.
reading the room enough
Give
to be
some
like, what
space.
needs more space?
Uh-huh.
What can I do to accommodate that and to help it be like a safe thing for that. And it was just really nice. And like our one friend like fell asleep on the couch while we were watching something and woke up and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for falling asleep. And we were like,
This was best case scenario.
having our dear friend
feel so comfortable in our home
to fall asleep.
that she finally has time to rest.
Mm,
Wow.
dream come true.
Wow. We did also get into, I proposed the question of something I've always wondered, which is a learning lesson around Jillian. Because if you want to get to the bottom of something, she's going to get to the bottom of something. So I posed the question, because I was just thinking of it, I've always wondered, when you turn on your air conditioning, so if I set my air conditioning to 67 degrees, is it blowing out 67 degree air until it like hits that temperature, or is it just blowing out cold air until it reaches the desired temperature? Okay.
We are having there's two conversations happening in the living room, mind you. One conversation's happening on the couch. I'm sitting on the floor in front of the couch eating a bowl of popcorn. I am hearing two conversations happening. I am engaged in one conversation that is like it's the tail end of a poignant
Earnest conversation.
And then I'm hearing pandemonium breaking out on the other side of the room, where instead of sitting, because we're sitting,
talking, it's getting animated.
and also they're both standing. They're both standing, having a very like, well, no, I don't think I would be doing that because of blah blah blah. So
I would say, guys, to me, it feels like I would love to get someone to do like a Renaissance painting of us hanging out with our friends in our living room, because to me, it feels like when you see those. Stick with me here with this comparison. Like a photo of like the founding fathers, and they're like all doing different activities but in the same room, and they're all getting business done in different aspects.
Yeah.
Or even like old social clubs, like seeing photos of that. That's what it feels
I think
like.
I just love a mural. I think we both just love a
I
mural.
love a mural where different things are happening in one room, because there's so much life and energy to
Yes.
that, and it's so fun to be able to hop into the different
I always
worlds.
love when there's like a painting of a soda shop, like a soda fountain place,
Because you can look around.
and like you have different
All the
people.
little
like
things.
yeah. There's like a pinball machine in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little boy.
There's like one artist
with
that
a
always
big old
does
banana
the-
split.
There's like one iconic artist that I'm trying to think of.
Norman Rockwell.
I don't know that. No, Norman Rockwell's
He
like
doesn't really have a lot going on.
his
He's kind
isn't
of
the really like
central.
bright crazy. I'm
No.
thinking there's like a specific style. I think.
If you know it, go to
if you-
HeyTherePals.com or
it's a
comment
certain.
it.
I haven't given any other factors other than.
Certain, there's something about
But it's
it.
the kind of painting that would be of a soda shop where there's like multiple characters doing different things.
I
Anyways,
can't wait to find it.
I know. I can't wait to Google that later and try to figure it out.
That's what Bimbos feels like sometimes. So Julie and I were talking about this air conditioning situation, right? So that proceeds into us kind of bringing Millicent and everybody else there into the conversation.
I saw the middle of the conversation. I said, I want to bridge these two because we have two very smart and different perspective people on this couch as well.
Yeah, and I would say Jillian and I were not at the stage yet of picking sides. Her and I were just kind of more in the
Talking it through.
exploration stage of both.
The wonder.
Yes,
Again,
they're both
You can Google it
reasons.
quickly, but I think that
But
it's
then we
giving
then
yourself.
we did, and the
Yes.
Google wasn't super helpful.
I think
It didn't. But then we watched a YouTube video, and then
Guys, we
air
spent-
conditioning more complicated than you could imagine.
so complicated. Guys, we watched two different cartoon.
videos, very good. The one was really fun.
What I said, I prepped this whole conversation. Guys, I think he seems very complicated.
But I don't think it has the computer technology to be.
How do we get here, guys?
Hell yeah!
Turn it up.
Refrigerant constantly changes from a vapor to a liquid in order to move.
You get 3 to 5 times as much heat out.
The way that like to watch the night go
Oh,
from
try and
like.
make
We just really hopped around, but it was because we just let it flow.
No,
wait, that's
we
not- that
said
doesn't
it's
provide the
one
answer.
setting.
Yes, it does.
That's not what I said.
Stop
Okay.
pausing so
I'm
much.
sorry. I needed to stand up. I needed to reorient myself. To set your thermostat.
That's wrong, though. That's the problem.
But no, Jillian, it's not.
We let it be what it wanted to be.
Yeah,
which
and
was
turns
looking up to learn what air conditioning was.
And then we ended up watching how it's made. We watched how Oreos are made. We watched how
Not real Oreos,
Twizzlers
though,
are
they
made.
like fake ones. The Twizzlers
Didn't
I
like the
didn't like.
gummies. We didn't like the gummy
the
stuff.
gummies
The-
was kinda
watching
gross,
gummy stuff
too.
get made doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But
But the air conditioning, we did find out. We think it just blows cold air at one setting. But
Until
then
it
that
hits
opened
that.
a whole other conversation. Can't even explain it.
we
Guys,
realized though that we also were agreeing. There was just a
there was
misunderstanding of
misunderstanding
what
in
the points were
language,
being.
which
yeah.
is why conversations are so important.
Yeah.
Because language can
And
often be a barrier. If you're saying
also-
the same thing in different words.
we allowed the conversation to happen long enough to where we were bouncing back and forth until we all kind of understood, I think, what the other people were maybe
we were like,
saying.
oh,
So then we
you're
were able to
using
Google
this
it.
term
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mean this thing when I'm using this
Yeah.
term to mean this thing.
We were on different Reddit threads. Thankfully, there were some people on Reddit who had helped to break it down.
Yeah. Thank you to
so
the internet community.
Thank you
out
to the
there.
internet. We really appreciate it.
It was just a wonderful evening, though, of friendship
Yeah.
and
And
hanging. We had ginger
think-
shots.
I think in the scenario of like disaster or just those really heavy, just human catastrophic events, when you're dealt those are cards you can't, like, when you have that, I feel like the inclination is obviously twofold. And it's like, there are people that are going to have to fold right now. And it's like, that's why as a community, it is frankly, like, our job to hold them. And that's why we didn't even tell you guys the name of this episode, but you probably know it if you read it on there. But it's
know when to hold them.
And we held our people.
We held our people, and I think even I would say just do what feels right, and it doesn't have to be a heavy scenario. It could be a celebration of something. Like, do what you naturally want to do. If you're like, I want to buy my friend a cake, or I want to like take them out to dinner, or I want to just like hang out at my house and like watch a movie. Do what feels right and share it with the people.
What does holding it look like for you?
Yeah,
because holding it is being like, I'm gonna hold it so that I can play it as I can, and
I promise, like, holding it but with your people feels so much better than like holding it for yourself. Like, even the air breathing thing, I think you and I both just wanted to do because we were a little paranoid about the air, and so that felt like even a little.
Oh, and Jillian brought over
off your chest.
Our friend Jillian has going to her house. We come back feeling so much better because she has the most efficient water filter you can possibly imagine.
It filters
it's insane.
out things and adds things back in that you need.
It's on our wish list for life, but it's it's one of those big ones. Anyway, she has this really nice water filter.
True, if you want to sponsor us, Aqua True.
We always call it Jillian water. We'll get over to her house and we'll dump out our water bottles to get the Jillian water. Because I'll tell you, a Brita doesn't do the full trick. I'm not going to go into it. Maybe we'll have Jillian go into it at some point.
Honestly, would that be helpful? You want to hear from Jillian?
It's kind of but there is a solution though.
There is.
But it's
expensive, so okay.
And then the other thing is she has a really nice air filter. So she actually brought over her air filter and it's a big one, so we were able to have it like running in the house.
My wish
for you.
Jillian just provides for her.
And then she brings over her little
shares.
really nice red light, and we'll just like shine that on. Whenever she comes over, she brings her big bag of like glass bottle concoctions.
She's
and
so
beautiful.
organized. She's got so many creams. She's
Anyways.
just a delightful being. This morning, guys, sorry, one last thing I'll say about Jillian. You guys know what Jillian did this morning? Well, Melissa and I walked to get coffee at this new, well, it's not new, but it's a new coffee shop for us.
For us, yeah. We stopped at a little Argentinian.
What's called very good.
Argentinian coffee shop.
Very good.
We got there as she was unlocking the door, though.
Yeah,
and
we
I
were
do
like,
not think
sorry,
we were
that was
literally
pressure.
outside as she was unlocking the door, and she's looking at us. We were like, "Are you open?" She was like, "Oh yeah, but we're only have pastries and coffee right now." And we were like, "That's so fair. We were literally here the moment you got here."
Yeah,
so.
we felt bad. But when we got home, Jillian was on a work call. 'Cause sometimes she'll just take work calls while she's here, and then she'll like go home. Guys, she's been helping a woman speak again
through like functional movement, and
it's to hear it. We heard this woman
Jillian
at one
is
of the early calls, and I could hear her.
Yeah, Jillian is a personal trainer, but she primarily focuses on just like truly like healing pain and problems through movement in a way that like is natural and like it's all stuff where it's like, oh, it's all body weight stuff. So like people will zoom like just by the way, we're in the room getting dressed like this.
Being like, should we wear the red bow ties? What about the plaid pants?
Jillian is in the other room explaining the muscles in the rib cage that are allowing this woman to be projecting louder because she literally lost her voice from like
it was like a trauma.
It was like a trauma response, and she like Jillian is helping her. Changing lives, and we are literally putting on clown makeup in the next room. Like what?
Our friends are amazing, so that's why I'll debate air conditioning with her all day because I want to know how her mind works.
Oh, it's fascinating.
It's incredible.
But she does have some takes that we deeply disagree with. We might have I know.
What we're talking about are takes like that sounds so bad.
We disagree with her on no. We
We're
agree
talking
on
about the fact that
fundamental
she, like,
levels.
When you think of a Pop-Tart, her favorite part is just the bread on the outside. She doesn't even want to eat the gooey inside.
So when we talk about takes that we disagree with, it's that. We're not talking about anything other than that.
We had our friends over, and we had dealt these cards, and we decided to hold them.
Yeah, we held them, and it was wonderful. And so our challenge for you this week.
You're going to be dealt cards every day of your life.
Yeah.
And they might be good cards. They might be not so great cards.
Yeah. And maybe you've been holding some maybe you've been holding some cards that you just like really
they're
are
not
like
serving you. They're costing you more than they're worth at this point.
Maybe there are cards that you feel compelled to hold, but you are for some reason starting to fold them and you're like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but maybe there are some I didn't realize I didn't know if I was actually going to go with that being that you needed to fold them or you needed to hold them, but then I realized we had done the hold them already. Sometimes you got some cards where it's like it might be time to let that go to fold them.
And we forgot.
You can also
walk away. Or
and this is only if you see the guy across the casino.
Okay? Either the two bald men or the man with the scar.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can run.
It's called a concealed carry, but he's not concealing it very well. You know what I mean?
It's meant to control and it's meant to intimidate, and it's doing that.
Frankly, not even loaded.
And that's why you run.
You run. But your challenge this week is to play with the cards that you are dealt. Play with either one card, but challenge yourself to just play with them a little bit. But even if that's just starting, even if you're like, I literally can't even.
Cards. Play with them cards.
Speaking of cards, Maddie, I can't believe it took us this long. Actually,
I know. I
kept
didn't
forgetting.
want to finish without doing it. Guys, I have a little card deck. It's so cute. Here, I want you to be able to play with them. They're so tiny. Like they're an inch tall.
They're
just
absolutely
adorable. Can you see them? It's amazing. Oh, they're so cute.
Do we want to post for our thumbnail?
We said we should have done a bunch of Oh, yeah, here. I'll try and fan them out.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, when you have to see behind the curtain.
Sorry.
The thumbnail making.
Oh wait, you don't have your glasses on.
No. Okay, I'm putting the mic down. We'll be back in a second.
Right.
That could be super blurry. We have no idea.
No clue.
We honestly
No
might
idea
not use it
whatsoever.
at all. I think the one time that we did post for
We
it,
haven't.
I didn't use it.
I didn't use it.
Hang on, let me put my. Are you
know,
done with them, or you want to keep playing with them?
I'm done with them. I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to
kind of
lose
get
them.
the point. Yeah.
You guys get the idea. But play with some of your cards this week.
Play with your
Come on, play with your
Play
cards.
with your cards just a little.
Play with your cards. This has been very enjoyable. But we also do have one. If you waited this long, we do have one pretty exciting.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we didn't start with this.
I know, this isn't even housekeeping. This is just like a little gift on the kitchen counter that you come downstairs to in the morning and you're like, what is this? Well, it's more of like for us, and we hope that it's more of a gift for us, but we are excited to share it with you because it means more little exciting things in the future. Do we?
Because I can put it up.
Yeah.
I have it.
Guys,
you're gonna look at it.
Are you ready for well, should we do a review? Can we say should we do like a little countdown reveal thing?
Okay, yeah, we'll count down.
Guys,
the reveal. Okay.
We have.
Are we gonna say what it is?
I think we should say what it is.
Okay, we have
A logo.
We did it.
We
It
finally
took
did it.
Longer than it should have.
We
have
found
it, and we're in love with it.
We love
And
it,
we
and the
hope you
artist
love
who
it.
did it. So great to take all of them.
Incredible.
Like above and beyond where we felt really bad the first round of notes being like,
yeah.
And then he sent us 14 different options and we were like, this is so much better than we could have thought.
They were incredible.
So we're
And
going to
really
do our
got the vibe. So we'll count down.
We'll do our logo
5,
review. 5, 4,
3,
2, 1.
Okay.
There it is.
So if you're listening, go to heytherepals.com or Won't You Be My Pal on YouTube to watch what it looks like.
But now that we have a logo, there's a certain world that opens up in a pretty fun way.
And we're not trying to assume here, but many of you have asked for merch. So we are going to be releasing some merch.
It's going to just be some, and here's the thing, guys. We need you to know that the merch is going to kind of be in two different versions of merch, okay? There is merch that is going to be print on demand stuff.
Yeah.
So when you see all of the options on the website, you might be like, oh my gosh, they have so much stuff. That's because it's
just
shockingly easy to do. So here's the thing. We're going to try some stuff.
We're going to have some funky things on
We're going to
there.
have some normal stuff that's just the shirt. We want to have
And
a
also,
logo shirt.
If you want to know when this is coming out, we don't have a date for it yet, but follow us on our Instagram.
That is where we will share everything.
That is where we will post when they're coming out,
and you
when
know
the
what?
drop's happening.
When we do the drop, I'll tell you this. We are absolutely going to do a giveaway on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, like, please
And
do.
So we'll have the shirts. We'll have some sweatshirts.
That'll
all other
be-
stuff that we'll talk about later.
That'll be the Pals merch, and we're gonna obviously try and maybe perch. No. We're
We'll
gonna
think of
we're
stuff.
gonna
We'll think
tinker
of a
with that. But then there is also going to be another version that we are going to call.
It's more of a boutique selection.
It's a boutique selection. It is Pals collections, and these are going to be.
They're gonna be kind of just whatever we wanted to make that month. So I do already have like a couple shirts that I'll probably that say Pals on them that I've just kind of handmade that I'll probably give away.
This is the stuff that
or,
it
like,
is
sell.
literally handmade by us, and it's going to be like one of a kind.
We're like, wow, we love it, guys. They're silly
It's
and they're gonna be weirder.
So silly.
And
We're
dumb.
not
Like,
going to
they're
announce
like,
the
nice.
first. The first Pals collection is very fun though, and
You don't want to announce it now?
I don't know. Well,
I think we should.
are we going to have them up for sale by next? Well, we could.
No, it doesn't necessarily have
Yeah.
to be because we told them you got to
You
follow us on
guys-
Instagram to know.
Okay, well, our first Pals collection,
They're called
Pocket Pals.
Colon.
Don't put them in your pocket.
We just wanted to get that out of the way because
Yes.
they're called pocket pals, so naturally people are gonna want to put them in their pocket. Don't put them in your
They're
pocket.
not actually meant.
It's just more of a term.
the size
They're
they could be in your pocket, but
tiny. You don't want them in your pocket. They're gonna break.
You could feasibly, if it was a loose frocket,
Don't try
potentially, but if you put them in your pocket, they will break, and we don't want you
got
guys
a
saying
loose frocket on you.
got a loose, just a gaping frocket on your front
and a
pec.
swinging frocket. You can put your pocket pal in there.
Yeah.
Don't just. Be
But the
gentle with
pocket
them.
pals they'll be sold in.
I think I'll probably
you can
be
either
putting some
buy
up here.
Yeah, you can buy some duos, you can buy a single pocket pal, but they'll come with obviously adoption papers
we
and everything
made
like
them.
that. But yeah, we made them by hand. So here's the thing too.
Adopt
if you're
your own
like
little alien.
Yeah, if you're thinking to yourself, well, they're not going to be that good. Well, they're not going to be that expensive. We promise.
This is
but
just
also,
fun, you guys.
Yeah,
and
guys,
if
this
you like
is
them as
just
much
for
as we do,
fun.
you don't even gotta buy. If you like,
And
them as
if
we do,
nobody buys them, we are thrilled to have them on our shelf forever.
we'll keep them.
Yeah, we promise.
Great.
We're like, we
love
don't even
them
care.
here.
Fine. We're actually not even going to
Fine.
sell them.
Don't get them.
Don't buy the pocket ball. We don't even want. No. But we
wanna
have a
see
lot
them
of
in your
exciting
homes.
stuff coming, and the best way to know that it's coming is on Instagram. Because here's the thing: if you're watching on YouTube, we have more subscribers on YouTube than we do have followers on Instagram.
By a significant amount.
A significant amount,
Come on,
and
guys.
we'd love to even that out just a touch.
Just go
And
on Instagram.
also, if we want to continue circling up, we're going to be circling up on Instagram. By the way, I think we might have mentioned it. I don't know. We had a pals post where we had said to circle up and introduce yourselves in the comment section. I don't know if we've
We
thoroughly.
talked about it
we
last
did.
week. Yeah.
Okay, good, because I just
It
want to
was
make sure that you guys
beautiful.
understand how much that
We loved
literally
it.
means to us.
'Cause
Comment
I
on
think we were
everything.
in the middle of reading them.
We don't even have to say circle up for you guys to just start
be in
yapping
there.
with each other.
Be in there. So that's our lines that we're gonna have coming out. And again, follow us on Instagram to find.
So the pals collection and the pals merch is coming, and the pocket pals will be here soon.
It's an exciting time, you guys.
it
We're having
is.
fun over here.
Yeah. You better believe we're going to be building
Did you
out
see how
pages
many
on the
watches we're wearing?
website. Yeah, we're running lots of
We're
watches.
in our groove.
We're in our jam right now. And we're having a blast, and we hope you are too. And this was a wildly long episode, but we kind of just...
We said it's worth it.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about that dance class
Yeah.
so bad. And I will say, follow us on Instagram if you want to see the dance. We're going to try and do it.
Yes. And we're going to blur out certain parts because, again, guys,
It's graphic.
It is a graphic dance number. I wasn't raised to move like that. Anyways.
But we tried our hardest.
We tried our hardest. We really
Okay.
did. Pals, we love you.
We'll miss you.
We'll talk to you later. And talk to us on Instagram. And
Please.
also, if you've DM'd us on Instagram, I only recently found where the requests were. So
Yeah. So sorry.
so
Sorry
we're
about
getting
that.
there. We're working on it. Okay. And also, you can call us.
Yeah. Oh, I'll put that number up now.
Oh yeah, we haven't done.
We've been plugging for 45
Yeah, we've
minutes.
literally just been doing a straight plug all the way through.
But it's important times, guys. We got to stay connected because we might be losing other platforms.
Yeah. Anyways, we love you. You gotta know when to hold 'em,
Come on.
know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough you're able when the count is done.
Pals, oh